Hi, everybody. So I want to officially welcome you all. I really appreciate your enthusiasm and joining the group. I think this is going to be a wonderful 21-day experience for many of you. So basically, I want you to look at this as not as I cannot eat this or that, but more about this is I want to feel better, right? I want to begin taking those steps because as we keep all reading and wellness world out there and many things, articles, blogs, and whatnot, that all disease begins in the gut. And there's so much truth to that. And I'm not going to really dive super deep into that today. However, I want to congratulate you on taking that first step because, again, I don't want this to be okay, so now I need to just not eat. It's not about that. It's about learning what kind of foods are going to support your well-being and what kind of foods we may want to reduce over the course of the next 21 days to allow your inflammation set point to decrease, your energy to increase, your mindset, your focus to improve, and your sleep. So we'll go over a lot more of this as the weeks go on, but I just kind of want to reiterate, it's not about starvation and deprivation. It's more about learning, right? Let's get a little bit of education. Let's get a little bit of empowerment. When we add more tools to our toolbox, we know what to pull out when we need it down the road. And so it's more about me providing you with some exercises that are going to bring awareness, and you are actually going to be the expert of your body. I will not be. You will be. You're the one that's experiencing how foods react in your own body. You're going to be the ones that are experiencing what does your mind feel like? Does it feel weighed down, brain fog, or does it feel clear and sharp? What does your mood feel like? Do you feel pretty even Steven? Happy, overall sense of calm and peace? Or do you feel agitated, exhausted, depressed, anxious? All of those are going to be an experience that you personally become the expert of your own body. And so the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be providing you with some really good tools in terms of optimizing your gut health. Now, I also want to reiterate that this is not a healing program like Gut Thrive in 5 is. It's more of a jump start. I think of it as a mini boot, a mini reboot, or a mini course that can just kind of start the ideas and the knowledge of gut health and how when we take care of our gut, we optimize our life in so many ways. So sit back, take it all in. But more importantly, I want it to be fun. So really, where I really want this group to go is to be over on the Facebook group forum. So if you have not joined that, I highly encourage you to do so because I want you guys to become each other's cheerleaders, supporters. I want you to share with me things that you may experience that really helped you that even I didn't know about, right? So I don't want it to be Amy is the one leading. Yes, I'm hosting. Yes, I'm providing you with my own expertise. But I want it to be more about we are in this together and we're creating a fun community, engaging, and empowering, right? I know that's used a lot, the word empowering, but honestly, when you start to learn tools to take control of your well-being, so that many people feel at loss, right? They're like, I don't have any control over my hormones, my digestion, my body. For a lot of women, it comes down to we don't have control over our bodies. And that feeling is like, I know for myself, it's one of the worst feelings to have. And so when we start gaining knowledge and an understanding of like, okay, I can rely on this now. Whenever I experience this, I'm going to pull out this, right? And now you feel like you have more control. And I think that's ultimately lack of control in our lives is what brings anxiety. And so really we want to just gain knowledge and move forward and to remove the chaos of all the noise out there from don't eat this, do eat this. It's so much and it gets overwhelming. And so I just want to provide you with some calm in the chaos, reduce the noise, and become aware of the fact that you are your expert. So, yes. So today I'm going to do a quick presentation on what to expect over the next 3 weeks. I really appreciate you guys working with me here. We were traveling on the road. We had no idea when we were going to get back. And I thought I better just set out and record it because I just didn't want to risk not being here due to traffic and whatnot. So with that being said, I hope you had a wonderful holiday season so far. And we're just at the beginning, right? So this is where this program is going to be wonderful. It's about let's reduce the inflammatory response from Thanksgiving festivities, maybe too much sugar. So your blood sugars could be a little bit like this. You could be feeling exhausted, tired, weighed down, bloated, gas, constipated. All those are extremely normal. And let's kind of reduce all of that, right? Clean, very whole food eating, but don't beat yourself up if you don't follow whole food eating entirely every single day. It's more like, let's just start, right? Let's just start. I don't want it to turn into guilt, shame, all in, all out mindset. I want to just let's start, right? And let's enjoy. So then by Christmas, we feel great, right? We've reduced the inflammation that potentially what we ate over this past weekend has increased an inflammatory response. We're going to reduce that. We're going to reduce some of and get our blood sugar more balanced. And we're going to go into Christmas feeling great. And we're going to enjoy Christmas and New Year after that. But now you're going to go back because now you have tools, right? So, all right. So let me get on with the presentation because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I need my glasses. I want to screen share. All right, so welcome to officially the Winter Detox Kickoff Call. You'll see here, I just want to again welcome you. I highly encourage you at this time to maybe turn off your cell phones, any distractions so that you can just kind of zone in, right? Take time right now, just absorb what I'm going to be explaining in terms of what lies ahead over the next 3 weeks and why this program is going to be very beneficial for you. So maybe put the phone in another room, turn off the TV, any distractions, and let's just zone in so we can be mindset, can be prepared and ready for tomorrow. Okay, so the gut is where all disease begins. That's kind of what I touched on a minute ago. Taking part in this detox is going to help you clean out your gut so you no longer have to experience all the bad things that come with an unhealthy gut. It's time to get this detox started. So again, if you are experiencing daily gas, bloat, constipation, feelings of fullness when you've barely eaten, those are all signs of digestive distress. And we want to start removing some of those experiences that you are experiencing over the course of the next 3 weeks. So benefits of a gut health detox. Let's go into why you want to do this, right? And why you want to stay the course. It's easy to sign up, but it's harder. There's a phrase that author, I think it was Darren Hardy. I think it was he who said it. But anyway, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. So it's easy to sign up for this program, but it's also easy not to follow through with it. The key is going to be to follow through with it, right? A program will work for you when you work the program. And I cannot emphasize that enough. So you'll get out of this as much as you put into it. And that's like anything in life. So I would love to see you say, okay, over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to get very organized, very focused, and maintain the structure from week to week to week so that I can get the most out of this so that I can actually say, yeah, that actually worked. Yes, I'm feeling better, because the key factor in maintaining a health journey is feeling better. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. When you start to feel better, you start to get more excited and more motivated, and you stay the course. So if you only give about 25% to something, that's all you're going to get out of it. Do you think you're going to stay the course in that situation? Absolutely not, right? You're going to feel like the program failed and it's not worth it and this and that. Or perhaps you'll say, I failed again. I didn't stick with it. I do that all the time. If that's a common thing in your own mindset, let's change that. Let's change that mindset. but it's going to take work in doing the work. There's no other way out. Like, you can't avoid the work. So, and again, I don't want to think of this as like work, but the program will work for you if you work the program. I can't emphasize that part enough. So let's go into the benefits. A gut health detox has a long list of benefits, and I'll go into that in a second. But let's talk about detox benefits in general. These may intersect with the benefits of gut health detox, but I want you to realize how beneficial detoxing is in general first. Our liver, gut, skin, and kidneys are natural, are the organs in our body that are to detox. We cannot avoid toxins. There are too many out there that we're exposed to, whether it's what we put on our skin, in the air, and even ultimately what we eat from time to time. The next 3 weeks, we're really trying to eliminate toxins that we eat. But again, you're still going to be exposed to some of them on some level. So that's where our liver comes into play, right? We need a healthy liver. We need our liver not to be overburdened, sluggish, and weighed down with too much on its load, right? So that's where the phrase toxic load comes in, because if our liver is not optimized, running efficiently and effectively, you're going to experience dis-ease, or eventually it goes to dysfunction first, which goes into full-blown diagnosed disease, right? So if you're experiencing symptoms and you have yet to be fully diagnosed with something, according to the Western medical world, you're in a good place. It's time to really reduce those symptoms, reverse them, eliminate them, so that you don't go into full-blown diagnosed disease. Detoxing is a process that supports the organs in the body that filter out the chemicals in the body, so they are not supposed to be there. So when we're going through a detox, not just one focused on gut health, as I just mentioned, the organs of elimination include the liver, kidneys, gut, lymphatic system, lungs, skin, and sweat glands are being enhanced to eliminate any foreign toxins or chemicals that are in the body. Without knowing the specificities of a gut health detox, I'm sure you're ready to jump on board and get this detox started. So as it was just stated, your detoxification organs are the liver, the kidneys, gut. I always forget about the lymphatic system, which is hugely important, in terms of, like, especially if you're feeling swollen and puffy, lungs, skin, sweat glands. Okay. So all of those work together to detoxify your body naturally. But I promise the benefits of a gut health detox. So here's the list. Okay. This is kind of where we're focusing the most over the next 3 weeks. So if you are experiencing any of these horrible symptoms, which they are, they get in the way of life, right? They get in your way of experiencing life, your quality of life. So the next 3 weeks, we're looking to aim to reduce many of these. So diminished belly blow, smaller waistline. I always think of that as the icing on the cake. I don't want the focus to be on weight. I want the focus to be on health, right? Feeling energetic, feeling very focused. Your mental clarity feels great. You don't experience brain fog, and your mood is just calm, peaceful, elevated, and inspired. That's the word I'm looking for. But the icing on the cake, I mean, myself included, I don't like to feel like my waist feels, I don't like to feel like I've gained weight. I mean, to be quite frank, and I don't think any of us do. I think we know when we feel healthy, right? And that's what we need to aim for, more than we focus on the scale. I guess that's what I'm trying to emphasize the most. Clear and glowing skin, relief from headaches, decreased inflammation. Your way to experience inflammation is joint pain, muscle aches, back aches, those kind of things. But also that puffiness, right? Just that little bit of, like, you just feel a little swollen. Reduced joint pain, weakened cramps, balanced emotions, restore your immune system. We're going into the cold and flu season, right? We want to have a healthy, robust immune system. gut and immune system and nervous system are all interconnected. When you focus on one, when you focus on your gut, you're going to be indirectly also or directly also affecting your immune and your nervous system tremendously. You're going to relieve constipation and promote regularity. Super important when it comes to your overall health. You do not want toxic waste living in your body. Okay, that's going to lower your immune system, cause inflammatory response, and promote disease. It's going, increase energy, strengthen your brain, boost nutrient absorption, super important, and jumpstart your metabolism, reduce stress levels. Okay, so again, all of that is gut adrenal health, and that's why I focus so much on targeting the gut first in a way to help women overcome burnout, because again, your gut is where, if you don't have a healthy gut, you're not going to absorb the nutrients, as just was stated. You're not going to benefit from healthy food. You're not going to be able to eliminate waste very well. And it's just this snowball effect of negative effects. We want to create a snowball effect of positive effects. So that is why that is why you're doing the gut health and the benefits. You're going to strengthen so much more. Symptoms, the gut is out to balance. Symptoms, the gut is out of balance. You may not even realize how much the gut affects all areas of your health and life. More often than not, people are shocked when I share what symptoms of gut imbalance look like. Prior to entering the field of holistic wellness, I would never have thought a headache could be a symptom of my gut being unhealthy. I grew up with migraine headaches at a young age, and they just said hormonal imbalances, preteen going into, I hadn't yet started my cycle, those kind of things. I had raging leaky gut, you guys, raging leaky gut, because migraines went away, but I had a host of other symptoms, ulcer-like symptoms, those kind of things. And it just wasn't diagnosed, right? And it was all due to gluten. But with that being said, I did experience migraine headaches, and absolutely it was a result of my gut health. And there are so many other things, like just stated, that many people don't connect to the gut when it is. So after sharing this with you, I ask you to keep an open mind. And when venturing through this program, you venture through the program, you will most likely learn some things that you never thought were actually connected, to put it frankly. Symptoms include, but are not limited to, of an imbalanced gut. So we're focusing right now, what are some symptoms of an imbalanced gut? Cramps, diarrhea, bloating, headaches and migraines, joint aches, chronic bad breath. Chronic bad breath is very associated with candida, but it can also be associated with H. pylori. But chronic bad breath, congestion, gluten, dairy, food sensitivities, skin rashes, brain fog, gas and belching, congestion. As said earlier, that was actually one of my most recent Gut Thrive in 5 clients. Her congestion that she just dealt with for quite some time, that was one of the first things she recognized within week 1. I want to say, she can correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, her congestion, ongoing sinus congestion, definitely improved. Depression, absolutely. Low energy, which low energy and depression go together, right? So when people are experiencing low energy, it's not unusual for a doctor to say, oh, I think you're depressed. You can't, I mean, they go side by side often. Hormonal imbalances, food sensitivities, weight gain, inability to lose weight, sugar cravings, salt cravings, and insomnia. So you'll see here, there are a lot of symptoms that are associated with other things. But that, again, is why I consistently say 9 times out of 10, not always, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to address the gut first in order to begin the snowball effect everywhere else. Now, I had somebody asking about, she's dealing with mold toxicity right now. And in that respect, I said, no, honestly, I would target your mold right now. If it's an ongoing major concern, target that, do a protocol for that, and then do a leaky gut protocol, because you want to really get on top of that mold, because if you don't get on top of the mold, the leaky gut protocol may not be as beneficial, because the mold is still going to be lingering there and causing chronic stress on your body. So not everybody will I say, yes, start with Gut Thrive in 5, just to get you in. Sometimes it's like, no, let's address that first, and then we can do this other piece of the puzzle, if you are still experiencing symptoms of leaky gut. So I want to kind of address also like the mood and the gut. I am looking into, and I'm super excited to try some of these. There is a company that I'm researching and I'm going to try out, that has put together products that are really targeting that gut-brain axis. It's formed by a doctor, and I will keep you all very much posted. I should be receiving mine to try in the coming week. But yeah, my sister found this program and she introduced me to it. I've been sitting on it, I've been researching it, and I'm like, this could be some really good help for those that are very much experiencing the depression and anxiety. Anxiety was huge for me with leaky gut, huge. I experienced a lot of this, but the worst, most debilitating thing that affected my life the most, perhaps, was the anxiety. So those are symptoms. So we touched on benefits and we touched on symptoms, and ultimately the benefits are reducing the symptoms, right? So program materials. All right. So I sent those out. So you'll see here, you have your guide. The guide just lays it all out. The what, the why, and the how. You will be referring to this gem for years to come. So as I said earlier, before I got into this presentation, this is a toolbox that you can add now to your stash of things. And I had a really good question from one of the participants as far as like, do I have printed material? No, unfortunately, I don't. And I know like there's so much to print. I have been that person that just sat there and I printed out and I put it in a binder. If you have the ability to do that, I would highly encourage that. Only because then once it's in the binder, it is yours for years to come. Some people do very well with downloads. A majority of people, any program, any course that I take this day and age, there are no materials that are sent to us. It's all online. So I've gotten more accustomed to keeping things online and putting them in zip folders. So that's what I would recommend to you all. If you do not want to print things out, create a zip folder and just put all the materials and just label it. New Gut, New You, Winter Detox, and therefore you'll have all your handouts, all the materials in there. That would be my way of addressing not having printable materials. And then just print out what you would like to have so that you can access it right away. Totally up to you, but that would be my suggestion, is to create a zip file, which is what I created, to put all these materials into one folder. I think you pretty much just right click on your laptop and it will say folder, and then you can just put it all in there. So the guide is your go-to, right? Absolute go-to. Journal, food diary. The reason why we're doing this is so that you can, like, say you eat a meal and you feel super sharp, super energized, write down what you ate, because now you're connecting dots to what foods are really helping your body. If you eat a meal and like 10, 15, 20 minutes later, you are bloated, then you might be able to look at that and figure out what food perhaps caused the bloat. Or if your energy just plummets and your mood plummets, there's something there is a food most likely that is causing your energy and your focus to drop. Gluten for me was that food. I would experience immediate, like, lowered mood, lowered energy. My vision would be altered. And pretty much my head felt like a brick fell on it. I just felt exhausted, tired, heavy. So that's where the food journal will come into play. The daily schedule, your simple daily schedule for a successful cleanse, it's written out. You don't need to worry. Just the program will work if you work the program. Recipe guide, the way that I would encourage you to use the recipe guide, there are some good recipes. And as I said, your entire family can benefit from this program. Buy once, benefit 5 people, however many people are in your family. The kids included. There are some good recipes for everybody. I would say, I mean, go for it. If you want to follow the suggested meal plan, as you'll see down below, and make every recipe for every meal, that's tough. I feel like that's not as but it's created to help those who would like to do it. I had a Gut Thrive and Vibe client. She used my recipe guide, and that recipe guide is amazing as well. She used it all of the time. And so to each their own. She loved to cook. She loved to be in the kitchen. I don't. So typically I use the shopping list, and I will take the shopping list and look at the foods that are included in foods to use, foods to avoid. And I will just create my own meals based on the shopping list. Easiest for me. You do what works for you, but be on top of it. That's the best thing. For me, I buy a lot of the same stuff over and over, and I might just mix it up here and there. That's what makes it easiest for me. So I would say if you want to use every recipe, go for it, but that's probably not going to work. You're probably going to want to look at about 3 dinner recipes, maybe, that you could maybe double up the batch if you have a family, and maybe have that same recipe a couple times in the week, or just take that shopping list and go to town with it, right? You probably have your own lifestyle and your own way of cooking, but just look at the foods to include. And I think you're going to have that. To me, is the easiest way to go with it. So suggested meals, this shows you one way you can use the recipes, follow it exactly, and you can just print the shopping list and go post the menu on your refrigerator for easy reference. Again, make it work for you. That's the most important thing. The detox program. So the materials, we just went over the materials that you will want to access: the guide, the suggested meal plan, shopping list, and the food journal. Very, very, very helpful. So now the program. What is the program? Okay, so we're going to go through 3 phases. Phase 1, we're going to prepare your mind and kitchen for the elimination detox phase. This is 4 days. So we're not jumping into the elimination part. We're preparing your mindset, because that is important to get your mind focused and to say, okay, I'm showing up for this program. I'm showing up for the program. I'm showing up for myself, because I want to get the most out of it. And again, I'll repeat, when you work the program will work for you. So you want to get into that mindset, right? Then we're going to set up the kitchen for the elimination detox phase. With this being said, you guys, each day you're going to receive 1 email in your inbox that's going to give you an action step for that day. So don't get overwhelmed with I will help you with all of this, but just understand phase 1 is prepping the mind and preparing the kitchen. So that's going to be the course of 4 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is going to be phase 1. During phase 1, you will have time to prepare yourself for the following 21 days. 14 days is this. I add on another 7 days of carrying you through as a way to give you more support, because on average, they say it takes 21 days to keep things going. But this piece of it's going to be 14. This time will allow you to get excited to detox, get your mind wrapped around the idea that you are doing something really great for your mind and your body, gut-brain axis, right? And may reduce the severity of certain allergies. Definitely when you reduce some of the allergen foods that we're taking out, you will potentially reduce some of your allergies. So phase one, we're going to be focusing on that. So by doing so, you may begin to reduce plaque, help prevent and reduce skin conditions, inhibit inflammatory response. Let's lower that inflammation, increase antibodies to prevent virus. Again, sorry guys, my leg. That's going to be really important as we head into winter. Enhance immunity, like I just said. Reduce systolic blood pressure. Reduce candida overgrowth. Very, very, very common. And especially this would be great going into Christmas holidays because of all the sugar and baked goods. So it'd be great to get a control over that before you enjoy the actual Christmas Day festivities. Reduce bloating, improve digestive conditions, improves nutrient absorption and production. If you're dealing with nutrient deficiencies, low energy, brain fog, all of that is nutrients, and many, many more. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to feel a certain way. If you're going to do this, it's like in your mind, I want to do it, but I want to feel thinner. I want to feel more energy. I want to feel like I have much more restorative sleep and those kind of things. You are going to want to feel certain things. So that's what we want to focus on. How do you want to feel? So when we focus on the mindset, I want you to really stop and think and even take a moment and spend about 5 minutes visualizing each morning. How do you want to feel today? Set an intention of how you want to feel. For me, a big thing is I want to feel light and sprite. I like when my energy is good, but my body feels light and sprite, but strong, not weak. So there's a difference. If I'm not eating enough to feel light, I'm going to feel weak, lethargic, exhausted. That's not what we want. We want to feel energized, ready to move, motivated to begin exercising even, but our body feels light. It doesn't feel weighed down. That's like how I know I'm feeling well and I'm healthy. If I start to feel sluggish and weighed down, then I'm like, oh, got to do something about this. So I want you to take moments each morning and just kind of sit and calm. Start your day very calm, slow, and think about it. Reflect on how do you want to feel 21 days from now? And when you get that concrete here, you're more likely to follow through with it because an emotion, a feeling and emotion is going to drive you much more than facts. That's just the way it is. Okay. So your action steps, like I was just talking about, read your materials. Okay. Don't just have them there. I've done this, you guys. I've done group programs. I'm not going to lie. You get all the materials. They do these little modules. And I just took the supplements, followed the diet. And I really didn't sit down and absorb the materials. I'm just now doing that with an adrenal program that I did personally 4 years ago now, that I was like, oh my gosh, this program was so good. And now having studied it as a coach, and now I'm, that's my other area of expertise. I'm like, that program was really good, but I didn't take the time to really read through everything. So take time to read through these materials. When I do the Gut Thrive and 5 program, that's why I only give my clients what they need when they need it, because I want them to take time to read the material, because that's when you really build your toolbox. And there's some amazing, amazing information that through any program that you take. And if you don't use it, if you don't read it, you're not going to have it and retain it. And a lot of the stuff you won't retain. So you always want to kind of go back and reread. And you go, oh, yeah, that was really cool. I need to do that again. So I would really encourage you to take each day, slow down and take time in the morning. Maybe set your alarm, depending on your work schedule, 30 minutes early, and use that quiet time in the morning to just read through what you need to know that day. That's my encouragement. Don't look too far ahead. Kind of as each day comes, Take that moment to read what you need to know that day. Decide if you're going to make any changes to your meal plan and adjust your shopping list. This is what you're going to do days 1 through 4, by the way, in phase 1. Go grocery shopping, get your materials, prep food, chop, dice, cut, peel, mix, portion. Again, frozen vegetables are my go-to for so many reasons, but so I don't really take time to chop, dice. I used to do that and it was great, but I don't as much anymore. I found that frozen broccoli, frozen cauliflower just tends to work a little bit quicker and more easily for me, or more easily. Again, you're going to find the rhythm that works for you though. So again, there's structure with flexibility. Put away, donate, or discard any items that are off limits for this program. Get it out of your house. I'm not going to lie. If it's not in the house, you won't be tempted. And I'm going to tell you this 9 times out of 10, people are like, but what about my kids? And what about my husband? I'm telling you, these recipes are going to be able to fulfill all of their taste buds. They're not even going to know it. Honestly, I'm not even joking. We focus so much on like, but what will they eat? But at the end of the day, don't you want them to develop just as much of a healthy habit as you are? And at the end of the day, kids are watching their parents. They're absorbing, they're watching, they're learning. And I think it's important not to talk about diet and I can't eat and I can't eat, I can't have, I can't. It's not about that. It's like I'm adding this into my life. You want to refer to it more as you're adding to life. You're not taking away. And when kids start to say, oh, this makes me feel better. If you're like, oh, I feel so good when I eat this, or, oh, this food's going to make me stronger, healthier. They're going to pick up on those things and they're going to be more interested. So really be careful about the lingo that you use around family members and children in particular, because you don't want to make it look like a punishment. And if your mindset going into it is punishment, you're less likely to want to follow through. You want to look at it as like, this is adding to my life and it's going to make me feel better. And then your mind, it's just the way you look at it is absolutely different. Where did I just go? So that's your action steps. Now we're going to talk about phase 2, which will be kind of days 1 through 7, detox elimination phase. In phase 2, we will be focused on the actual detoxing and elimination diet. You can follow the daily steps listed below to get the most out of this detox. What you put into it is what you will get out of it. Every habit you create will contribute to the level of your detoxification process. These new habits will be ones for you to continue practicing even when this detox has come to an end. In addition to creating these new habits, we will remove all stimulants and foods not on the detox plan. Many people feel they need to extend phase 2 longer than 7 days. It is a great idea to listen to your body and give yourself more time if you feel it is needed. That is why I extended it to 21 days and not just 14. To give your body 7 more days in order to just clean house, because we're not using any supplements. I will go over certain probiotics, but we're not using any supplements. That's why it's not so much of a healing protocol as it is a health protocol, just an overall general healthier. But phase 2, and then it didn't go over phase 3 in here. So phase 1, we're prepping the kitchen, prepping the mind. Phase 2 is the actual elimination diet. And the purging of just by eliminating sugar, we're going to be eliminating gluten, wheat, dairy, but gluten, dairy, soy, corn, sugar, alcohol. And by eliminating those major allergens, your body's going to start to feel better right away. And then phase 3, we reintroduce one thing at a time. So some of you may not be gluten intolerant, but by eliminating it for 14 days, we're going to then add it in, and you may experience brain fog right away, low energy, kind of symptoms that I discussed. Dairy, you may feel bloated and whatnot, because once you clean house and you lower your inflammation, many people are walking around inflamed, exhausted, and it's their baseline norm right now. It's their normal level of health that they've lost sight of what it actually feels like to live in a healthy body. But when you start to eliminate and you improve your baseline health, you will notice much faster. People used to tell me for years, you're very in tune with your body, but it's been years and a work in progress of me eliminating things that did not work for my body and educating myself over the years, that now I can bring that to you at a much quicker rate. But once you clean house and you add something in that was not good for your house, you will notice it much faster. And that's the goal of this program. So we're going to prep, eliminate, reintroduce, and see how the body responds. The reintroduction phase, I will go over that when time comes around. But that's pretty much what we're going to be doing going into the next 3 weeks. So I hope you're excited. Just take it all in, one thing at a time. Look in your email. Tomorrow will be your first official email. Always know I am always available to you via email. Email's just best way to reach me. But any questions, any concerns, know I am there and I will reach you. Many of you have already reached out to me in different stages, and you always see I will get back to you pretty ASAP. If you have not already done so, I highly encourage you to join the Facebook group. That's where I'll be adding a little bit more stuff on a daily basis. Not a lot, because I don't want to overwhelm you all, but enough to make it a little bit more. And I want you guys to engage with each other. I really, really do. I don't want it to be a situation in which we're ghosting, right? We're there, but we're not there. The more you participate with me and with your members of the group, the more excited you're going to be, and the more alive you're going to feel and into it, right? Into it. That's really what I'm looking for. So I really want the Facebook group to become a community. But that's going to come down to you all. That's going to come down to you just checking in, sharing something, letting me know what you liked, what you didn't like. I'm all open for hearing what you didn't like and what doesn't work, because I'm constantly tweaking my programs. This program, when I did it for the first time a year ago, it's going to be slightly different than this year. A year ago, I was doing webinars and people were just kind of listening through, and we would have Q&A, but it just got too long. So this year, the next 3 Sundays, as you see at 7 p.m., will be open floor Q&A. I really encourage you to show up 30 minutes, ask me questions, interact with each other just enough, again, to create a community. And when you feel part of something, you're more likely to continue with it. And don't forget to schedule a complimentary 60-minute session with me. That's part of the program. I want to offer each one of you. So that I will do, because on my website, you can't really do it for free. So if you scheduled a 60-minute consult, it will ask you to pay. So I will go ahead, we'll figure out a date and a time, and I will put you on the schedule myself, and eliminate that fee. But take advantage of that. Definitely take advantage of that. So that will be the presentation for today. And then, yeah, just keep looking into goodbye. Just keep looking into, let me stop screen share. Just check your email each and every day. And I highly encourage you guys, and it will, the guide will show you in the emails, but I highly encourage you to start with a slow morning. If you can put aside 15 minutes even to just breathe, and whatever we're focusing on that day, you're reading it in silence, wherever you can do that. I know some of you have children and whatnot, but that is when you're prepping the mind for the day, because we want you to get the most out of the program. So anyway, I don't want to take up much more of your time. If you have any questions, email me. whole health coaching at amyblackburn.net. Sorry, we've been up really early driving, a little foggy, but anyway, thank you guys so much. I'm excited. I hope you are, and let's have some fun. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Now I just have to, I can't see without my glasses to stop the recording.